always wear black.
That's true. That is true. Do you have anything else? Do you have color in your wardrobe?
I do. I have to be in a mood. I have to be in like a really like sensitive like day.
Sensitive mood to wear color.
Yeah. To be like.
I have a friend who only wears white. Like only wears white.
Man.
Yeah.
Do they have to buy clothes all?
I know.
They have
right?
a lot of bleach.
I know. And
going
she loves
on.
chocolate, and she's always like in chocolate. But she's like a sound bath, and like meditation coach and like all that shit. So she's one of those like very fairy, like loves everybody, like kind of like
an angel.
Yeah.
Oh wow, much. That's so crazy.
So you don't want anything to drink?
No, I'm okay. Wait, drink.
You can have whatever you want. We have booze if you want booze.
Oh no, it's okay. I want it, but I gotta.
Everyone kind of is like, maybe it's a little too early, but
I won't judge you. It's all up to you.
No.
We also have like sodas and water and coffee.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
I don't want to be like and like choke on something. I would do that.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Are we running live yet?
yes, we're live.
Oh wow.
It's okay. It's
Do I
just for
put
my
these on?
teacher, remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you scooch a little towards the mic?
Oh.
And almost never, anybody ever actually watches this live. They usually watch it later.
This is weird. I got a big fucking head, so can I say the F word at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can say whatever
The
you
F
want.
word.
You know what? I did like a mainstream commercial radio show, like, and I said I made 75% through the podcast and the show, and I used this word. I was like, you should give me a fucking prize for making it this far without swearing. Like, I can't believe you're mad at me.
Oh wow. I wouldn't make it.
I
I've tried, and I end up saying worse things, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just never works out.
Yeah. I know, it's like the worst when I'm like around kids. Because my parents swore around me, so, you know, like I'm not used to, like I didn't really edit their language around me when I was a kid, so I'm not.
I suck with that too.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I always end up apologizing to parents. Like, they don't really get mad or say anything, but I can tell. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know there was a kid behind me.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. You can hear me okay? Or, well.
Oh, wait.
Now can you hear me okay? Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I can hear my own voice and I'm gonna panic.
You sound lovely. Okay, we good? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Today I have a very special guest, Katrina Jade.
Hi.
How are you?
I am great.
I am so excited to have you here. I've had so many people request you.
Really?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of requests to have you on.
So they love me other than my butthole.
They do love you for
God.
other than your butthole. You are more than just a butthole, Katrina. You are so much more than that. I hope you know that. So, Katrina, how are you? I know I just asked you that. I wasn't going to ask you that, and then I don't know what happened. This podcast is starting off really well. You make me nervous, clearly.
Why?
I don't know, because you're hot.
What? I'm nervous.
Oh wow, this is gonna go great.
Oh man.
So you are a contract star with Evil Angel.
Yes.
You are a recipient of the Performer of the Year award, and you are an overall, I would say, superstar. How long have you been in the industry now?
Over 4 years. I haven't done the exact math.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to hit the 5-year mark.
Is it
early next year I'll hit 5 years.
Is it everything that you thought it would be?
I don't know what happened. It's like every time I like have plans and I set goals for myself, but I'm an impulsive person and I just go with like day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know where life takes me half the time.
It's like that really cheesy line, life happens when you're making other plans.
Basically.
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. How did you get into porn then? Was it kind of a surprise? Was it like a mistake?
Kinda.
Mistake. Was it a mistake? Irrevocable
Accidentally.
mistake?
Yeah, okay. So I never really planned. I'm like, I want to be a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't about money or like I want to be a porn star, like anything like that. I
Mhm.
literally I was watching kink.com actually, and I
Mhm.
watched it vigorously, and I was
Mhm.
obsessed.
Yeah.
And I never tried anything like that. And like I've done stuff at home, but I never like went to sex clubs or
Okay.
experienced it professionally.
Right.
And I was living in Tahoe at the time, and there's nothing in Tahoe.
Yeah.
So I told Nigel, my husband, and it's like, hey, like I really want to try to go to kink.com and I want to experience this. I want to do all these things, you know, like safely, because I don't really know much about it.
Right.
And I wanted to try everything. I went in with the mindset like I want no limits.
Mhm.
I wanted to try everything and see what my limits were.
Right.
And
How experienced were you at home with like what kind of stuff had you and Nigel done at home?
just like bondage, I feel
Okay.
like just a very basic.
Okay, nothing crazy.
Like
no like
more
caning or like breath play or anything like that.
Okay, well, yes. So breath play, a lot of bondage or like peeing stuff,
Mhm.
blindfolding. Like he would have like people come and fuck me. He'd be like, he would just walk in and just say, I'm totally going off topic now, but
That's
he
okay.
would just walk in and say like, put on something sexy. Somebody's gonna come over and fuck you. I'd be like, okay. And like I didn't even know. I would blindfold, not even know who it was.
Wow.
Because it's like kind of my thing. Like I don't know why, but I don't know if it's like a rape fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what it is, but there's something wrong in my head to where I like not knowing who's fucking me.
Or maybe there's something right in your head.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. Just means it's different than other people, but that doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
I had a sex therapist on last week, and I'm very much about you know, how everybody has their thing, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, and it's about society telling you that it's wrong.
Fuck society,
but it doesn't mean it's wrong.
Okay, cool.
Would you take the blindfold afterwards and see who it was?
No.
Or would you like?
I know. I don't want to know. Like even till this day, like we still, even when we fight or be like, I hate you, die. Like we've never even talk about.
I honestly think that's kind of hot. Actually, I think
not
that's super
knowing.
hot. I think
Like, what does he look like? What does he like? I like the kink of like, what if I'm going to the grocery store and the guy walks past me?
Yeah.
And he knows he fucked me, but I don't.
Right.
So it's like every time I go out, I'm like, that guy fucked me? Did this guy? Because this happens so many times.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so you already had like a penchant for having sex with strangers.
Yes,
okay, so
that was like my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I really wanted to do like S&M, like hardcore stuff. Just I don't know. I was like so intrigued and I needed it. And at the time, I was super submissive. So I applied. I shot a couple scenes, and I was like, I had no issue with cameras or random people like watching or anything. I was so like into it. And me and Nigel had like a joint like Tumblr, like just being nasty, you know. And we had like 30,000 followers on there, just like for fun. Never took it seriously. Like just it was cool. And then I don't know, like a lot of directors at Kink and like other people, they're like, you're good at this. Like you should really do this, you know, like if you care for it, you know, and you have a natural talent, you're comfortable, why not?
You're a great model.
So
you know how to move in front of the camera. Were you a dancer at one point?
Never. I've never been a dancer.
Wow. So how did are you just like, you just have great body awareness?
I don't know. Well, Nigel, actually, he always, even with his
because he's a
cell
photographer.
Phone, yeah, but before, like, he just had like a little camera, like a little $200 camera, and he would just be like, do this, do that. Now this looks hot. And he also did it for fun. Like, he liked photography, like, as a hobby.
Right.
So I feel like being with somebody who constantly he was obsessed with taking photos of me.
Yeah.
Not like me, but in general. I'm sorry. And I would tell him sometimes, like, can you, like, just put the fucking phone down and like stop taking pictures for once.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that helped a lot, like instilled in my brain.
Right. Okay. So go on. So you went to Kink.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna like try regular porn.
Yeah.
And I want to see what people fuck like. Like it was all for fun.
Right.
And then I think my first year I didn't take anything seriously, like career wise. I just really just wanted to fuck and like make money and have a good time. And then I realized I should probably take this seriously.
You saw that you had a career in it. Yeah,
basically. Like, I didn't think it would be anything serious. I didn't think I'd be popular. That sounds, like, horrible and, like, self-loathing. But I really didn't.
Yeah.
And then I got positive feedback, like, positive reinforcement. So I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it seriously.
Yeah. And when was that point that you decided to take it seriously?
I think it was my first year, but it was later in the first year.
Okay. Was there like any one incident that made you decide that, or was it just an accumulation of everything?
I think it was everything.
Okay. What was the first scene that you shot for Kink? Do you remember?
This is terrible. I honestly don't remember.
How many scenes did you shoot? Did you just go out to San Francisco and just shoot like a fuck ton
I
of them
shot
all
5
at once?
scenes, like 5 days in a row.
Oh, wow.
But I don't remember which one. No, I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay.
I kind of have an inclination, but I really don't.
What can you tell us, like, what were some of the new things that you tried at kink that you hadn't done before? And what was that like?
I have I think this. Oh, it was my first scene. Now, okay, I just remembered. Yeah,
okay.
It was Electro Sluts, and it was a live show, and I was like in bondage. I wanted to try like real bondage. I wanted to try the electric shocking, like cattle prod.
Cattle prod.
Yeah, and then like the tasers and things like that. None of it hurt. I mean, some
you sound disappointed. You're like, none of it hurt.
No, it didn't. But they were really nice to me. Like they're all women, so they're like super like, what about this, honey? You know.
Kink has got a really good reputation for really respecting people's limits.
Yeah.
Making sure that people feel comfortable testing their limits and knowing that they can like back out at any time.
Yeah.
And, like that's really important, I think.
It was Miss Lorelai.
Okay.
Lorelai Lee. Excuse me, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. It's been a long time.
No, I think that's right.
But she was great with that. Like I told her I was new. I was like, I don't know anything about. She's like, this is what you do, and like she was really, really great. Like there was no pushing. There's no pushing the envelope like at all. Like she was really positive experience.
So it sounds like you had like a really good like safe first, because a lot of times those first couple scenes is what like sets the stage for you for the rest of your career. Some girls who I think probably could have achieved a lot in their career end up leaving right away because they got set up with a bad agent. They got pushed into stuff they weren't ready for. Yeah. And that's always like such a big shame to me because it should always feel safe.
Yeah, of course.
Have you always felt that way in your career?
No.
No.
I will say that right off.
You've had some bad experiences.
I've had some more bad experiences in the beginning and then lately. Nothing in the middle.
Interesting.
Which I found odd, but with kink, I never felt like they pushed.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But I also was in this really stubborn set mindset that I wanted to push my own limits.
Right.
And they told me, I was like, I don't have any limits. So like, honey, are you sure? Like they didn't like that answer at all.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, what do you mean no limits? But I told them, I was like, I don't know what my limits are and I want to find them.
Right.
But they still even didn't push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know? What are your limits? Do you have limits? Have you found them?
That's the thing. Being in kink, I only shot 5 scenes. And I shot like one of not everything, but they were all different. And I did figure out some things about myself that I didn't. Like, I think it's hot, like a dominant woman, like doming another girl. So I tried that. Nope. No. It's not me at all.
Okay, you're naturally submissive?
No, not to women.
Okay.
I feel like I have to be equal, like, because I can't, it's not in me to be submissive to a woman.
Or dominant?
I don't really like to hurt women.
Okay.
I respect women a lot more.
Okay.
So
you like to be like on equal footing with it.
Equal, okay. Yeah. And if she like is aggressive, I will never like want to hit a girl unless like I know they're gonna hit me back. You know what I mean? Okay. Like it has to be equal.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? Positive vibes only.
Yeah. So you kind of like vibe off the girl. Like you take the scene goes in a direction depending on what the other girl's like. Like, so if she's a little bit softer, more vanilla, you're a little bit softer, more vanilla. Yeah, because
I like pleasing the girl. So if, like, Kiss Us In's example, like, me and her, like, we can kill each other.
Yeah.
We'll just go, blah, 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 and it's like, she's knocked me out, like, completely. Like,
I've been
knocked out. And she's like, hey, it's me. Wake up. And I can hit her all day long, but I know she likes it.
Right.
Like, if a girl's, like, into soft stuff, and if she seems uncomfortable, I immediately want to leave the room. I'm like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you never want to feel like you're taking advantage of somebody.
It just doesn't turn me on, and I respect women a lot more.
Right.
Men, it's
So tell me what you mean by that. I
don't know.
So you can be submissive to men.
Yes.
Can you be dominant?
Yes.
Okay. Do you prefer one or the other?
No, not really. It's the vibe.
Okay.
And the chemistry with the guy.
Yeah.
For sure. And I've noticed this too over the years and even recently, like if I'm submissive to a guy, I am only submissive to the guy. I can't switch my role with that person.
Right. Okay. Understood.
At least right now. Maybe I will one day, but.
Right. Like you've established like some kind of hierarchy.
Yeah.
And you can only, I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could never, I'm a natural submissive.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's dominant. And the idea of like dominating him, like I don't like that.
Right.
Like sometimes we'll do this play where like I'll like try to dominate him, but then like he'll be like
yeah, okay,
punish me for it or something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so there's like a little bit of like this playful power exchange, but ultimately like he wins in the end.
Yeah.
But you know, if he was like, you know, I want to do a whole thing where you tie me up and like you beat me and
It's a
fuck me in the
total
ass with a
switch.
toy, I'd be like, ah,
Yeah.
no, never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. No,
Me
don't
and,
ever ask me to do that.
Me and Nigel struggled with that for a long time because we're both switches.
Okay.
And I want to say for at least 2 years, I wouldn't switch. I was like,
I can't see Nigel being
He's not like full
submissive. He's such a big dude.
I know.
He's
So-
like a Viking.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Large human.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. And he would get mad at me. He's like, I need you to like push it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Because he's mostly dominant.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes once in a blue moon, he's like, I kind of want you to be mean to me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's only with his moods. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where we struggled a lot. Like,
Okay.
I feel like the first 2 years. Because,
Yeah.
you know, you're like getting to know someone, like
Right.
the honeymoon phase. and
Right. How long have you guys been together now?
5 years.
5 years.
Because we met and then I wanted to get into porn.
Right.
Like, immediately.
Right. It's so funny. I know this is random, but so just so everybody knows, Katrina and I were both at Danny Daniel's wedding. And we went to this like horrible strip club for her bachelorette party. And I don't know, Nigel, like the song Despacito had just come out.
Oh, God.
And he was so into that song.
He's so annoying.
And now every time I hear that song, to this day, I think of Nigel when I hear Despacito. I always think of him.
I just remember being really mad at him.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him that whole whole trip.
Yeah.
We even got separate hotel rooms.
Yeah, I remember that. You guys were at the same table and you weren't talking.
I didn't talk to Nigel the entire time. And then the only time I did write him, this is so funny. Actually, that night, I drank, like, they gave me, like, a big gulp version of gin and tonic.
Uh-huh.
And I drank the whole thing. And I died. That's why I wasn't there the next day.
That's why you weren't the next day at the tea party, the hat tea party.
I know, and I was so excited about a hat. I bought a whole outfit for it because I love tea, and I love tea parties.
Really?
I fucked myself on it, yeah.
Okay, I know this sounds terrible, but you don't look like someone who's into tea parties.
I love tea party.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of want to do you in like a gothic tea party now.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna wear all black and a big black hat and the glasses. Oh, so
do you still have the outfit?
Well, I mean, yeah, because everything was black anyway. But
do you still have the hat?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
we might have to do that. That'd be fucking rad.
I was so excited. I fucked myself on it.
That's
but
okay.
Anyways, I end up the only time that I started speaking to Nigel was because I wrote him when I was hungover.
Uh-huh.
I was so hungover, I questioned like myself. I was like, who does this? You know, like I was so bad. And I wrote him, I was like, hey, I know we're not friends right now, but can you help me? He's like, what the fuck? I was like, I can't move. Can you bring me Gatorade? And he did. And that's why at the actual like wedding we came together. Because he like swooned in and saved my hangover.
Aw, because he loves you. So tell me how you met him, because that is kind of a funny story, I think.
It's so embarrassing.
It's great!
Because you'd think it'd be something romantic, and it's totally not.
I know, but that's why it's funny.
So when Instagram first was a thing, I was looking up split tongue, like guys with split tongue, girls, because I love the split tongue. It's like a huge thing of mine. I actually wanted to get mine done at one point, but I'm a pussy and I won't do it.
Yeah, I can imagine. So for those of you who don't know, a split tongue is when you literally cut the end of your tongue in half, so you have like a snake-like tongue with like two edges. But and you still have muscle control over those, right?
Yeah, some people can do tricks and like move them up and down, and they cut like this bottom webbing of your tongue too, so you can stick it out farther and do more with them.
How long does it take to heal from that? And like, what's the healing process?
I don't have mine done, so I don't really know.
I know,
but Nigel said it took like a few months. But then he did his twice, and I know another guy who did it, and he's gonna get it done a third time because the tongue is a muscle, and it like grows back together like in your sleep, so you have to peel it apart every day. I know it's gross. So I thought it was hot, and I still think it's hot. I mean, back then it was new, and I never experienced it.
But wait, okay, I'm sorry. I know that like you didn't get your tongue done, but I just need to know, like, did you have to wear a bandage like in his
They
neck?
suture it, yeah.
Oh, they suture it.
Yeah. And
but
I heard
do you
they
wear a
cauterize
bandage?
it too.
Okay. And then do you can you only like drink like? How do you eat?
I mean, I haven't asked. We haven't had this conversation in years, but I think he mentioned like liquids for like a while.
Yeah, it's a good way to go.
Because he couldn't.
Diet.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Okay.
I haven't even asked him this in like years.
Okay. Sorry. I just like to me it's so fascinating. Okay, so go on. So you were interested in the split tongue. You were looking it up on Instagram.
I was looking at hashtags, so it pulls up, random people.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's? And he kept popping up over and over because he like literally hashtagged every photo. So I was like, he's hot, and I was like, this guy's crazy, and I was like, what? He's wild, And I was like, I either want to fuck him or marry him because I was like, he's like, I was like into him, like, because all of his posts were like ridiculous.
They're so ridiculous,
and they were more ridiculous back then.
Yeah,
like back then he was like videoing on Instagram him peeing on people, and then like his account would be gone, and then it would pop back up again. I'm like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, it's funny because my boyfriend follows him, and he just thinks he's hilarious.
Everybody thinks he's hilarious except me.
Well, that's typical.
That's marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just like followed him, and then he sent me his phone number, and we just like talked 24/7 for like 2 weeks, like FaceTime, like because I immediately wanted to make sure he's like a real person.
Yeah.
But I had followed him, so I knew like he was consistently like that person.
Yeah.
But we FaceTimed. He like sent me videos of like everybody like he lived with and like all this stuff, like 24/7.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks later, I moved in.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys have been together ever since.
Yeah. Like the day I met him is the day I moved in. Like physically met him. I like was there with a car full of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You're an impulsive person.
I'm a very impulsive person. That's why I have face tattoos and everything. I didn't think anything through.
Wow.
That's my whole life.
That's amazing. So, you won contract. You won Performer of the Girl of the Year.
Okay.
That was for AVN, right?
Oh no.
Or was that for XBiz?
XBiz, yeah.
And that was what, 2 years ago?
Yes.
And I remember you were really. I remember you posted this really sweet video online, and you were really sweet, and you were like,
so embarrassed.
No, but it was so touching because you were like, everybody said that I was never gonna make it because I have a face tattoo, which is unusual.
Yeah.
But you did. So did that like really? So that was like a big moment for you.
It was, and so I didn't think I was gonna win, you know, because I'm just inherently negative, I guess. Like, no, I'm not. Like, dude, no. Like again, like I didn't even think I would be successful because I'm just like doing my thing. Yeah. And then I got nominated. Actually, when I got nominated for AVN, I cried. For XBiz, I cried. I was like, no, people like me. I was like, I'm not going to win. No, not me. Because there's a lot of companies to this day will not hire me for anything, not even as anything. So I thought, like, it's out of the question. Right. So then when I won, I actually, like, was really drunk. I was like borderline blacked out. I don't even know how I was walking in my heels. Like, I don't know. And Nigel actually told me, he's like, you need to stop drinking. What if you win? You need, like, he's the dad. Yeah. You know, he's like, stop. I was like, go get me another drink. He's like, no. Like, he was like protesting, like, I'm not getting you another drink. Yeah. And then when I won, I was like in shock. I was like, wait, me? No. And I looked at him. He's like, I told you to stop drinking. I was like, shit, now what do? I don't even have a speech ready. I was like, every other word was fuck. And I panicked.
Yeah, but it was really endearing. Yeah. It was very sweet.
But I didn't cry till after because I didn't want to cry on stage. And I felt okay. I was like, fuck yeah, I did a thing. And then when I got down, I started crying. When I got off the stage, I was like, this is happening.
That is so sweet. So is there anything about you that your fans don't know?
I'm actually a pretty calm person. And a lot of fans think I like run around causing chaos a lot or like explosive. And I am very vocal. I talk a lot and I'm very opinionated, but I'm a pretty chill person. A lot of people don't think I am. Like when I meet them, they're like, you're more like calm than I thought you would be. I'm like, did you think I was a psychopath? Like, yeah. And it's always been that way.
Well, I think because, you know, people see you pretty much just in your scenes, which are pretty intense. Yeah. So, you know, they don't ever really get to talk to you like we are now, you know, in like a sit down conversation.
And I always try to be funny too and make like weird videos like Biggie and like screaming and like being ridiculous, but it's like nobody wants to see a video of me chilling, so why would I post that?
Right,
you know,
that's true. That's true.
That's not entertaining.
Yeah, I get that. Now you're under contract with Evil Angel, right?
Yes.
And you just did a showcase, Katrina Jade, Addicted to Black.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
It's all black guys.
I wouldn't have guessed.
So it's all black guys, and fuck, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something and then I lost it. It's like my words just went out of my mouth. But anal, obviously. Like here's the thing, I didn't want to how do I start this? Reword everything. Pertaining to the industry politics of holding out for shooting with a black guy. I've always been anti that.
Right.
So when I first got into my contract with Evil, I told them right off the bat, I was like, I am not going to just wait to like shoot with black guys. I want to make that apparent, like, because I didn't know if they had a game plan for me. You know what I mean? I told them what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to like, kind of like a big fuck you to like that whole thing.
Yeah, you
know
don't
what
want to
I mean?
like fetishize the whole thing.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you know what? Let's make a movie entirely of black guys. And they were like, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to do it right away too, like at a point, you know.
Right. And
but I'm sorry. It's directed by Johnny Darko. He's a camera god. He's like my favorite, one of my ultimate favorites to work for.
Yeah.
Because he's like so into it. Like he's one of the only directors left that gets into the sex. You know what I mean? Like he's into like the art of it and watching it. You know, he's a pervert. And that's why I love him to death. So and I have the comfortability in my head of knowing like no matter what I do, even if I feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna look good. Yeah. Because he's holding that camera. Right. So I always feel like I can do whatever and he'll either correct me on whatever I'm doing wrong or doesn't look good. He's like, honey, when you lean too far up or do this, this doesn't look good. Do this. He's like, I know it's uncomfortable, but this looks good. And a lot of directors don't do that. So
yeah, that's true. They don't give you direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's directed by Johnny Darko, who's camera god. And I'm losing my words because I'm getting excited.
How many scenes are in it?
I don't know. It's not in my head. So there's a blow bang. It's my second blow bang.
Okay.
My first one is all black guys too. I've actually never done a blow bang with all white dudes. So there's a blow bang.
So there's some things you haven't done.
Yeah, now that I think about it right now. There's a blow bang. There is 2 boy-girl scenes, the anal, and then there's a boy-girl anal scene, which was like probably one of the best days of my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was that with?
It was with Jack Slayer and Rob Piper. So they just took turns on my butthole. And like usually if I start anal, I don't like going to pussy. Like I like just only anal. Only anal. Because I don't know, it's a different thing for me in my head. Yeah. But it was so good. Yeah. Like those boys killed it. Like I felt like I was in heaven. I was even intimidated, like, because they're both like Jax and Rob are big dudes, like built, muscular dudes, and they're tall. So I was like, I kind of like fluttered a little bit. I was like, am I gonna die? But in like a sexual way, you know? I was like, oh fuck. And me and Jax had a killer scene right before that, and I've always loved Rob. So I was like, oh no. This is too good.
I worked with Rob Piper for my first time yesterday. I shot him with Lisa Ann.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Evil too.
Yeah. Him and Isaiah Maxwell for
I love
Lisa.
Isaiah.
Yeah, she's great. It was a really good scene. Lisa was so funny. Like I haven't seen Lisa like that excited in such a long time. She was just like, so she was like, she even emailed me. Hot. Yeah, he's very hot. And it's so funny. Our makeup artist Ozzy's like so like she loves him. And so it was just this hilarious day. And I love Isaiah Maxwell. Like to me, he's like so fucking
He's
handsome.
a dreamboat.
Such a dreamboat. Like and just so sweet, like soft spoken. Yeah. And just like I like kind of like the quiet guys, like
because they're scarier.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe because I'm so fucking loud. But
me too.
Yeah, I like the quiet guys, and to me, like I just think Isaiah's so sexy, and so like the two of them, and they both like smelled really good.
They always smell good.
I remember like I hugged both of them after the scene, like after they'd taken their shower and like you know and put all their cologne back on and stuff. And I remember driving home in my van, and I'm like, I smell like them. Yeah,
that's the thing about black dudes. Like, why do you like black guys so much? I'm like, they always smell good. They always look good. Like, there's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah, we were talking about like how Rob had like all these like different products like that he brought. Like they're just very big on grooming and like meticulous about all of that.
And their skin's always soft and glistening and all chocolatey.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Rob was great. That was my first time working with him, and he was awesome. I really liked him.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny that Jax, I haven't worked with him yet. But I'm sure I probably will soon. But I only ever saw him in that fucking Hot Girls Wanted episode where he was brand new and the photographer was really aggressive and like really unkind to him. And he was like having kind of a hard time because like he wanted him to be really aggressive with the girl. And, like he wasn't comfortable with it. It was just like this really like, and I remember like feeling like my heart going out to him. I was like, I can't believe that this guy is talking
He's
to
like
him
the
that
nicest
way.
guy ever.
And that's how he came across in the documentary. He was like, you know, and this photographer, some guy in Florida, I don't know who he is.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, literally, he was like, okay, get hard. Are you hard right now? Get super hard. Hurry up and get hard. I'm like, you can't talk to male talent like that.
Ew.
Like they, you know, it's a difficult job. Like you have to respect them. Like
how is he gonna get his dick hard when you're an asshole?
When you're like yelling at him, and he was just like this little like I don't know. It was really bad, and I just felt for him, and you know, and clearly he did the scene and everything, but he was like, this is when he was brand new, and he was like, dude, what the fuck, and
he's the nicest dude
guy
ever. Yeah. And he has like such like, I know this is like a weird thing to say, but my mom's from the South, so I'm like, my mom was really big on manners, but that dude has a lot of manners, like actual manners. I was like, wow, who are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in general.
Yeah.
He's like the nicest guy.
Who are some of your favorite performers to work with?
There's so many. If you have more aggressive ones, I would feel like, not pertaining to Jax, because he actually wasn't really rough with me, but he fucked hard.
Yeah.
And he like manhandled me, and I was like, because I'm short, but I'm a thicker girl. So I always get nervous when the dudes are smaller than me. I'm like, when they throw me around, I'm like, are you going to drop me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to feel like they're strong and they can hold you.
Yeah. I like big dudes, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jax, Rob, Isaiah, Prince. Prince is like...
Has Prince done that crazy blowjob backflip trick with you?
No, not with me.
You've seen it though, right?
I have, but it would scare me, I think.
It scares the fucking shit out of me.
I
remember when he did it in front of me once when I was shooting him. I was shooting for Angela White.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know if my workers' comp covers like a broken neck because of blowjob somersault. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm like the most submissive to him.
Yeah.
Not in the world, but I'm saying I'm only...
It's hard not to be. He's a very strong personality.
Yeah, exactly. And I respect that.
Yeah.
So
he definitely says what he thinks.
There's him. And now I'm going to feel like an asshole. But there's a lot of like... I mean, I'm like the main top talents. I mean...
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. So now Evil Angel is a company. You like working for them?
I love them.
Yeah.
I have a love and hate, and the only hate is that they've spoiled me so hard that when I shoot for other companies or the directors, if it's even slightly off, if they breathe wrong, I'm like, how dare you? Like, this is not right. You know?
What is it about, like, how do they spoil you? Okay.
Well, I mean, when they signed me, they made it like such a big deal. You know what I mean? A lot of companies don't do that. I know there's like contract girls like for almost every company at this point. But they just made it so special, you know, and I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, oh, I'm a contract girl, like, cool. But they were like, they made it a thing, you know? So I was like, oh shit, you like me? You really like me? And it was always, they've never been pushy. They've never been like, we want you to do this. Like, even like at the office, you know, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Everything was yes. Like everything I asked them initially, what about this? What about that? Like, I don't want to like change my whole personality on social media. Like, it's already done. I've been here for a few years, and I've had companies like, if you shoot for us and if we do this, you can't do this, that, and this. I'm like, but that wouldn't make sense. My fans would know that there's something wrong.
Right.
You know, it's inconsistent.
There's definitely been contract girls that I've talked to that have worked for certain companies where they've like tried to micromanage them on social media and tell them like what they can post and what pictures they can post and what they can say and how they can behave, and every girl's always resented it.
Yeah, I've had that, and they're like, you can't post peeing videos. We don't like this and we don't like that, and I'm like, dude, like that's the only reason why I got popular to begin with. You know what I
it's
mean?
like, why would you sign you? I mean,
for not me.
For not you. Yeah. I assume you sign somebody because you like who they are, what they represent, so and then you ask them to not be themselves.
Yeah.
It's like that boyfriend who like, gets with you because he's like, and then he's like, now don't be anything like who you were when we met.
Exactly. That's exactly how it was. And they were never like that at all. Everything I asked them was like, whatever you want. That was like the answer to every question. I was like, I don't know how do you say no to whatever you want all the time?
Yeah.
So there was that. And then secondly, on set with the directors, I've never, like, they are like hardcore anal scenes, like they're all about being nasty, and not a single director has ever pushed the envelope. They're always like the most professional. The sets are always clean. They respect the dudes. They're not pressuring. It's like, it's always great. Anything I need, I'm like, hey, like for anal, I'm like, I have to eat. And a lot of girls don't eat, so that like directors don't expect that. So I'm like, hey, I need to eat, or else I'll pass out. And they're like, totally. Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting how everybody's got like their different like anal like method. You know, some girls eat, some girls don't eat.
Yeah.
Like everybody's got their thing. What's your anal preparation?
Well, okay. I wouldn't use me as an example because my digestion is not normal at all. And I'm lactose intolerant or dairy sensitive. I'm not really sure. But all I know is any kind of butter, things that are sauteed, things like that will fuck up my whole life. So the day before, I really pay attention to like anything that's cooked in stuff or sauces. I like plain foods, no sauces or anything like that. But I mean, I don't starve myself. Obviously I don't eat salad, anything leafy, fiber. I drink coffee in the morning.
So why wouldn't you eat anything fiber?
No, I do eat fiber.
You do eat fiber, but you don't eat lettuce.
Yeah, because it's leafy and it's more likely to get stuck and like not
in
come
your
out.
colon.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Anything that's like with a skin to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. See, these are things I don't know.
Yeah. Like seasonings, like little green things or like tomatoes, stuff like that.
Really?
Like, I mean, I've never had an issue to where like stuff has come off, like things like that. But I've heard horror stories, so I've just naturally, I was like, okay, well, we don't do that. Yeah. And then Joanna Angel is like one of my closest friends, and she also is like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Like, make sure
she actually turned me on because I was dating a guy once who like had a really big dick and always wanted to have anal. And she turned me on to this like fiber drink thing. I forgot what it's called, but I still have it. Yeah. So I was like, thanks, Joanna.
Yeah. She's the one who's like told me like all the things not to eat, and it's fucked up. And I actually told somebody else this. It was actually on Danny's show, Dinner with Danny.
Okay.
That Joanna is the only girl that's ever helped me with that kind of stuff. Like,
really?
Other girls, I'd ask them, they're like, oh, I don't really know. Like, I don't know. Or they'd blow me off. Like, nobody was, like, nice. I'm like, girl.
Nobody wanted to help you with your anal game.
No, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to stretch out my butthole. I'm not asking how to shoot it. I'm literally asking dietary questions. Like, strictly dietary.
Yeah.
No. Girls and nobody wanted to help me. Like, not even my own friends that I thought were my friends, except Joanna.
Interesting. Joanna is like the anal queen. She knows
a
lot.
Dude, totally.
Yeah.
She's told me some stories. I'm like, you're alive. Wow.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love Joanna. She's a lot of fun. So you have a lot of fans. You have a lot of loyal, dedicated fans. Have you ever had any fans that have crossed the line with you?
I've had some weird experiences. I mean, back in the day when I first started, I actually had somebody follow me and Nigel.
Oh, no.
And the guy actually tried to run past Nigel to get to me. Like, because I knew who the guy was and he crossed the line before. Like, he was just rude. Like, he would call me names. Like,
was he a fan, like, on social media or, like?
He was just, like, a stalker in general. Okay. Like, he always would write me and, like, call or something. Like, he would somehow, like, find a way to write me. And he would talk in accents sometimes. I don't know. It was weird. It was just a stalker situation. But one time he did find us. And,
wow.
Yeah. But Nigel just had to scare him away, and then.
I bet Nigel scared him away.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't want to fuck with that guy.
He didn't. I mean, Nigel's not a violent dude, but
no,
like,
I know, but he
so does have big. He does snap.
He looks scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure, obviously, if somebody was trying to hurt you, I'm sure that he would do something about that.
I had that happen, and then at AVN, some weird shit has happened. Not horrible, like traumatizing, but just like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I had a dude, actually this last AVN at the Evil booth, I took off my heels because I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then I was like in this
I don't even wear heels to AVN anymore. Yeah. Like to the floor, I wear flats because fuck that shit, dude. Oh, dude. So, and you're like standing all day and signing, so I can imagine that it must be
I think it was like my third day. But I was just like, you know what, fuck it. And I was also in this weird, like, aggressive mood where I was like, I want to put my feet in people's faces. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've done, like, some foot fetish stuff before because I have, like, tiny feet.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude, like, I guess it was, like, a good thing, too. I was like, I don't know how I pulled that one off. But, like, a lot of people were into it. They're like, oh, my God, your feet, your feet, your feet.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, a thing. I was like, oh, all right, cool. I did something positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then this dude's like, do you mind if I kiss your feet? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do it. He shoved my whole foot in his mouth. This dude deep-throated my foot.
Ew.
I know. I was I felt like I was foot raped. Like, I felt so violated. I was like, I did not. Like, he just was like, went to kiss it. He's like, can I kiss your foot? I'm like, yeah, kiss my fucking feet, bitch. And he shoved my whole, like, it went to my heel. Like, I felt his teeth and everything.
Ugh.
And it, like, the back of his throat, it was so bad. Like,
Ugh.
I've never felt so violated. To be honest with you. Like,
That's
that
really
was, like,
interesting.
I looked back at everybody. I was like, this just happened to me. He did this. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those AVNs, like, I don't know how you guys do that. Like, I mean, the multiple days in a row, standing there, and then, like, hugging guys.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like, are really bad with the hygiene.
Yeah, they're not the most hygienic sometimes.
No.
I don't understand.
No.
But it is really hot in there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed they're all sweaty, and I'm like, yeah, that sucks. But I wear deodorant.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know. I'm really fun. Like, I like to, like, have fun with fans,
Mm-hmm.
especially, like, the timid, quiet ones, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But when guys just walk up to me and, like, pull a titty, like, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I want to get violent. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't smack somebody because I'll be banned from AVN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to do.
I know. The thing is that, I mean, not like everybody has their thing, but, you know, some of the girls, like, really encourage the fans to, like, grope them and stuff like that. And then the fans think that they can go do that to everybody.
Yeah. So that's where I get confused, too. Because I like to have fun with them. Like, usually if the dudes are, like, standing with their arms to their side, I'll grab them and be like, grab my ass or something. But if they just, like, go out and grab it, or if they ask, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if they just, like, grab me, like, aggressively, then it's like I get mad.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even know what kind of tone I'm setting anymore. Like, it's very confusing.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that they had, like, a rule, actually, like a little, like, rule thing at AVN last year.
I liked that.
Yeah, I thought that was good because some of them get out of hand, and I think some of them just don't know. First of all, honestly, I think a lot of them don't know how to treat a woman.
No.
And they get especially confused with porn stars because they see you guys in.
Oh, you're a whore?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can do anything
exactly.
I want.
They see you guys, like, you know, being violated in these professional environment. They don't understand it's in a professional, safe environment with other professionals. That, you know, everything has been discussed beforehand, and they just think that, like, they can act in that manner.
I've noticed too, like, since I've gotten into porn, I used to have, like, a lot of guy friends and, like, know a lot of guys in motorcycle clubs, and it's like once I got into porn, they got handsy with me. Like, whenever I'd see them, they're like, oh, what? Like, you fuck everybody but not me? I'm your friend. And it's like, it's almost like they think, oh, you're a whore, so it's community pussy in a way. Like, anybody can have this. It's like you almost can't say no. It's like they think.
Yeah, they feel entitled.
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I can't say no. I'm, like, officially not a person now? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of people see porn that way and see porn girls that way.
Yeah, it's like we say yes or no on a porn set.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I wonder if it's too because they don't see that interaction.
They should.
Not that they would fucking watch it anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. They fast forward through the acting intro. I know, like, does Kink do it? But I think they do. Where they have a little interview with the girl before the scene.
Before and after they do.
Talking about what she's going to do, what she's okay with, whatever.
Yeah.
And then afterwards saying how the scene was, like, kind of like just to show that this is a fantasy and that, you know, these girls weren't violated.
A lot of, I mean, as you already know this, but I don't know if people know this, but they do that on set, like, like sign in and sign out.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, but they don't put it on the internet for people to see.
Right.
You know, but we did this for Evil for my first showcase, I Am Katrina. It was like a documentary. So, like,
they do that. I've noticed that they've done that with other showcases too.
Yeah. So, but they show, like, the whole interaction, like, in makeup and at the end, like, so they know, like, what it's like a day in life on set, that it's completely consensual, and we're, like, you know, we're the boss of our own body. You know what I mean?
And I think that's really interesting to people because, you know, so many people are fascinated by porn and they don't know what actually happens behind the scenes.
They should know.
And it's always, like, a huge surprise to them that it's, like, kind of a normal job, you know? Like,
yeah.
which I understand. I mean, it must seem strange.
What do you
too.
mean you didn't meet this stranger and fuck him and film it with a professional crew? Like,
yeah. Well, I guess the idea is that we're supposed to, suspend disbelief and make it look like it's real, and that's what sells. But it's not, people. We're making movies here, movie magic.
God damn it! It's a fantasy with actual sex,
right? So another thing that I've seen you be kind of vocal about on Twitter is anti-bullying.
Yes.
So do you see that is something that's become like an issue these days? And do you get like a lot of trolls?
I do. I've always gotten trolls, like pertaining to tattoos, like, oh, fucked up, druggy, face tattoos, jailhouse tattoos, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you on heroin today? Like, I've gotten a lot of that. And I'm like, actually, I've never had a drug problem.
Yeah.
I've had drinking problems, but I've never had, like, a drug.
Well,
you know what I mean?
doesn't?
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same hate, and it's like some girls, like, I even had my days, like, I wake up and it's a bad day for me. I'm just like, I'm emo today. And if I read some shit like that, I'm like, fuck you!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not fair. Like, I just feel like it's mean, but I'm especially, like, sensitive to it because I was bullied a lot as a kid. Mostly when, like, my grade years. Not necessarily in high school. So I, like, developed early. Like, I got boobs when I was 9.
Oh, wow.
I had my period when I was 9, so I immediately got boobs. Like, in the 3rd grade, I had a C cup.
Wow.
So then I got really bad acne, and I was a tomboy. So I wasn't really into this girl stuff that was really going on.
Yeah.
So all I had was a ponytail and some, like, boy clothes, but I had boobs and I had really bad acne. And it was just not cool.
Yeah.
So I got bullied a lot by, like, girls and boys, because boys are like, what are boobs when you're 10 years old?
Yeah.
And then girls were, like, mad because boys are giving me attention, and I just didn't understand any of it.
Right.
So it made me really angry growing up, like, really resentful, and, like, fuck society kind of idea. And that's why, like, only went towards, like, metalheads and, like, punk kids, because, like, they were also getting bullied, and they were always nice to me. So naturally,
it's like anti-establishment kind of
thing.
Yeah.
So naturally, I just, like, gravitated with them because they were nice to me. You know what I mean? And then I was surrounded by boys, so nobody could pick on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm especially sensitive to it. So when I actually, like, got long hair and, like, hot in high school, so then I was especially anti-bullying, and then now we're in porn, and, like, there's a lot of suicides in porn, and, like, in society now, like, we have higher suicide rates than anything, so it just makes me really, really uneasy on a personal level.
Yeah, I think that the internet has definitely, like, and social media has compounded that. I think a lot of people live within the validation of what they see online, and these, and especially porn girls that can get a lot of hate. Yeah, and people just being really unkind because they have their own sexual hangups and their own sexual repressions, and they take it out on you because they're frustrated. Yeah, and probably a lot of them figure you don't even read the comments, or they're just trying to get your attention. Yeah, right.
Exactly. But a lot of girls, like, I mean, there's me on my bad days, but for the most part, I'm just like, fuck you, whatever. But I've had my bad days where I take it seriously.
Of course.
And I can't imagine, like, there's really sensitive girls in the business. Sorry, I can't breathe. Okay. There's really sensitive girls in the business, and I just, like, fuck. Like, that sucks, Like, I've always had Nigel. You know what I mean? I don't have family. I just have Nigel. So I had that security blanket. A lot of girls don't have anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times when they get into porn, then their family will disown them. And then they're kind of, like, rudderless, and it's really sad. Yeah.
So that's why I've always been, like, anti, like, fuck you, bro. And, like, that's why also, too, a lot of people think I'm just angry and yelling at the sky sometimes when I respond to rude fans. Like, I'll always, not always, but for the most part, I'll respond to a fan, and I'll be like, fuck you, bro. Like, who do you think you are? You're nothing, Yeah. And a lot of people, almost everyone, they're like, why do you respond to that? It just brings you down to their level. And it's like, I can't handle bullying. Like, they need to know they're pieces of shit. Like, you must know that you're wrong. Like, stubborn.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's hard sometimes not to react. Yeah. But yeah, usually the best thing you can do is mute them, because that's what I do a lot of times. I don't even block them. I just mute them, because if you block them, then they know that you read it. But if you mute them, then they don't really know if you ever read it. And then they think that, like,
I'll tell them too sometimes. I'm like, I'm muting you. You can watch me, but I'll never see anything. Like, I'll get sassy sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up Mormon, is that right?
My mom was Mormon.
Your
yeah.
mom was Mormon. But
No.
so did you grow up like in the church?
No, my mom always tried to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom she's not a crazy religious nut, like a Bible thumper or anything like that, but she was raised religious. She was always a part of the Mormon church. And um, she always tried. She always tried, but she wasn't like violent or aggressive with it. You know, and Mormons were always like, really nice to me.
I was gonna say Mormons, like it's
They're
kind
so
of the
nice.
big joke that they're just like really, really nice.
They're the nicest people
They're like
ever.
the nicest people. They believe
Yeah.
in some weird shit, but they're very nice.
That's the thing. They're it's all about being nice.
Yeah.
Basically. But my mom always took me to church and like Sunday school and things like that, and I was just that oddball kid who questioned everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this doesn't make sense. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's not logical. Like,
yeah.
And it became a problem.
Yeah.
And I think just once I got my teenage angst years and I started wearing all black and I just never stopped.
She just gave up.
I think she just was like, all right, I guess you're doing this now, you know. And she's like, my mom's really, really like loving in the sense where she's like, you know, it's not my place to judge you. Like, that's how the Mormons are. They're like, it's not our place to judge. Like, we don't have the right. We're not God. But I'm just going to love you and hopefully you don't go to hell. You know what I mean? So that's how my mom's always been. She's like, you know, I don't like it, but, you know, pertaining to porn or whatever else I do. She's like, it's not my place to judge you.
Right.
So I hope you find your way. Like, she's always been like that.
Yeah.
But it was never a negative. I've heard a lot of negative stories with crazy religious parents, but my mom wasn't like that. But it was like always a battle because she's like, no, you need to. I'm like, no, I listen to Misfits. Satan. Yeah.
What are your views on religion?
Oh man, no.
Just you full atheist?
I'm not a full atheist. I wouldn't say there's nothing. I just feel like there's so many things that we don't know to really say anything. So I would consider myself an atheist, but not, I don't know.
Maybe more agnostic? Because agnostic is like, I don't really know.
I feel like more agnostic, yeah. And I'm a full believer in energy. Okay. And there's a lot of things that we don't understand. Like, we only use 10% of our brain. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's so many galaxies out there. There's so many things that we don't know. Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
So do you believe in, like, you know, kind of like manifestation and, you know, the energy that you put out is what you get back? Yes. Like, that kind of thing?
Yeah. 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 That's why I don't, like, dabble with that black magic shit, man. Really, nothing like that. Yeah. I believe in stuff like that is real. Yeah. Or at least it has some kind of effect.
Right. Right.
So, I don't fuck with that. It scares me a little bit.
Did you, when I was a kid, I don't know, I was kind of obsessed with, like, witches and Wiccan, and I used to do, like, these weird little, like, rituals in my room where I would, like, burn pictures of, like, boys that I liked or whatever.
That shit always scared me. It still scares me, yeah. I know some people in porn who are into, like, black magic and stuff, and I'm like, bye. Nope.
So then you do believe in, like, in something.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in energy, but I just feel like I don't believe things are what people say it is, I guess. Like, as far as religion. I'm like, it's not logical.
Right. Right.
Like, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So my boyfriend was raised Catholic and he was an altar boy and all that kind of stuff. He's not religious at all now, but he was raised in that world. And we went to a friend's wedding last weekend and it was like it was a big Mexican wedding, full Catholic ceremony, in this huge church.
Yeah, those are intense.
The ceremony was like 2 hours long. There was like so much shit that went on. They like had you take the biscuit.
Yeah,
the Eucharist. I don't know.
I've been to
I'm like, is this the time when we eat the biscuit? He's like, the biscuit? He's like, no, you don't have to, like, you know, take the Eucharist or whatever it is. And I'm like, but I'm hungry. And he's like, that wafer is not going to satisfy you.
It's like, this is not how it goes.
I'm like, is it wine? He's like, it's not alcoholic wine. I'm like, oh, I guess I won't. But we were talking about it and he was like, well, and we were talking about the Catholic Church and kind of like everything that's been going on with it lately. And he's like, you know, I'm like, well, how do you feel about, you know, raising your kids with religion and that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, that too.
And he was like, well, you know, I think I can see why it's, you know, like why my parents did that. He's like, you know, it's like prepackaged morals. And I'm like, why can't you just teach your kids morals? Why does it have to come from Jesus?
Pertaining to that, I'm a stepmom.
Are you?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. I've actually never said that out loud, but I'm kind of just like, fuck it.
Oh, wow. So that is definitely something that your fans don't know about you.
Yeah, but pertaining to religion, I've thought about that, you know, and a lot of people are friends. Like, nobody really knows that I'm a stepmom. Even people important that I've banged a million times. Like, you didn't know either.
Nope.
But
actually, you know what? Now that I think about it,
it makes sense now.
I do know. I did know. I just didn't put two and two together.
That's what everybody says. They're like, I know Nigel has a daughter, and I'm like,
yeah, duh.
Yeah. So I'm a stepmom, so it's like I always, her mom, because I'm not a real mother, her mom like raises her, like wants to take her to church and all this stuff, and me and Nigel are anti that. We're totally anti church. Like, let her find her own way. Right. You know what I mean? We're very not pushy people, but I'm also like anti religion to like the most extent. So I've had my issues with that. Like, I didn't really know how to handle it, and like my daughter has asked me like some questions like, what does this mean, what does that mean, and I'm like, I always try to avoid it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be negative and hateful.
So especially if that's what her mom, if her mom wants to raise her in that faith, you don't want to like contradict that and like create drama. But
it's also like she's asking me questions, so I feel like I'm like, oh, it's me all over again, questioning everything, you know. And it's like, I don't want to say, oh, go to church because your mom said so. I'm like, well, what do you think? I always try to help her come to her own conclusion, I guess, even though she's a child, still. And then we teach her like the basics, like, you don't hurt animals, like the whole thing, you know, be a decent person. And she's very big on like, me and her mom are really great co-parenters, even though we wouldn't get along naturally at all. But I feel like we're great. Me and her are more on team than we are with Nigel.
Oh, interesting.
It's weird. Yeah,
that's interesting.
So we co-parent a lot. So like, we text each other all the time, and I'll text her. I'm like, she's saying this, and she'll text me like, I'm not doing this. This is your daughter now. You know, it's really odd.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So with the religion thing, I totally get it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I had a boyfriend whose mom like took him literally to all the different like churches, and so he could like try all the religions so that he could make his own decision. He ended up just not picking any of them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck this.
You're like, this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in energy. I don't know why I'm stuttering a lot, but I did read a lot into LaVeyan Satanism. But that made more sense to me than anything else, because you're not actually worshiping a Satan or any kind of deity.
Are you talking about like the Church of Satan?
Church of Satan, yes.
Yeah, which is actually nothing like what people think it is.
It's not
at all.
It's not.
It's literally more about like, isn't it more just
self-worship.
Like self-worship and believing in yourself rather than believing in this other entity.
Exactly. Like, you worship yourself and your own existence, but you don't. The thing is, you're not supposed to hurt anybody else in the process. Like,
right.
You don't kill people. You don't kill animals unless it's for food. You know what I mean? You're not a cruel human being.
Right.
You just worship yourself and not any other entity.
How did they like tie that? I can't remember. I could listen to a whole podcast on it.
Oh, it's so much information. I can't even.
I know. There's so much information, but I can't even remember why they ended up calling it like Church of Satan. Anyways.
I think it was like to change the whole like, I know what you're talking about, and now I can't even put into words either.
Yeah, maybe we won't like actually try to like, because I could just sit here and like try to sound knowledgeable and spit out all these completely incorrect information.
Yeah, I don't want to say it wrong either. And then I'll just
have all these people emailing me like, this is completely fucking wrong.
Oh yeah.
So totally. I'll tell you what, guys. You guys go Google the Church of Satan. Figure that shit out on yourself. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, no,
we don't know what we're talking about.
I know like the basics.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know the whole deep history.
Yeah.
I can't retain all that knowledge. Well, I read it, but I can't remember a lot of it. But they do have a Twitter, and they respond, and they're hilarious. Sometimes I'll troll you back.
Oh, really?
They responded to me a few times, and I freaked out. I fangirled so hard. I was like, they noticed me. It's like there's actually a new porn girl, bless her heart. I don't even know her name, but I said something on a thread, and she was on it, and she started yelling at me like, there is a Jesus. Like, she went full blown like religious on me, and I was like, you are also a porn girl. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And then I got sassy back. I didn't attack her. I was just like, I rather be a part of the Church of Satan. And I
Yeah.
tag them, and I always tag them because
Yeah.
I kind of want people to like know that they exist.
Right,
like,
right.
Here's a plug. Go figure this out.
Yeah.
But they responded, and they're like, sometimes dreams come true, and they sent me a heart, and I was like, oh my god, they said things.
The Church of Satan responded to me.
Yeah. I was like, I love you. And then my fans, they're like, today's a good day. Church of Satan responded to Katrina, and I was like, I know. Something happened. But anyways.
Oh my god,
they have a
that's
Twitter.
hilarious. All right, guys, go check them out. Church of Satan.
Yeah.
Katrina, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
we
you.
are actually going to do, separate from this podcast, you guys will only be able to watch on my Patreon. I'm going to ask her some fan questions. So there is a little more to come. You're not free yet. But as for the rest of you, can you tell everybody where they can find you online? Plug your plugs.
Yay!
Upcoming movies.
Yeah.
Your Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
My Twitter handle is KJ_fetish model. My Instagram actually got banned like a few weeks ago. So currently I do not have an Instagram. And if you want to find out where my new Instagram is, go to my Twitter.
Okay.
KJ_fetish model. That is my only Twitter.
Do you think that you might get your Instagram back?
I hope so.
Is this the first time you've been banned?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
in a long time, yes.
Okay. Because a lot of times the girls get it back.
Yeah, I'm hoping, but it's been a few weeks, so I'm scared.
It could take a while. I remember Dana DeArmond, took her a while to get hers back.
So there's that. My website, meetKatrinaJade.com if you want to buy some stuff.
Ooh, what are you selling?
Panties, all kinds of stuff.
Everybody
Bachelor
loves
parties.
panties.
Yeah.
And she's a contract girl for Evil Angel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally just got lost. Yes, check out my my showcase, Addicted to Black, because it's really hot. And actually came so hard that I lost sensation in my fingertips. I went like this, like I was like
really?
shaking. Yeah.
What scene was that?
With Jackson Rob.
They
fucked me so hard that I was like incapacitated. I was like, like, and Darko was like, you got fucked today. I was like, yeah. He's like, no, you got fucked. I was like, I did. I really did. Like I laid on the floor for about 15 minutes after the scene. I didn't move.
That's when you know it was a good day.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
So buy that movie.
All right. Everyone buy that movie. Check her out on Twitter, but not Instagram. At least not right now.
Yeah.
And you can follow me at Holly Randall on Instagram and on Twitter. And like I said before, you can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Holly Randall Unfiltered. Support the podcast, be eligible for all kinds of cool perks, and watch this little fan Q&A that we're going to do.
Yay.
Okay. See you guys next week. Awesome. Okay. So we'll cut.
That's a lot of laughing.
That's good. We should be laughing.